Good afternoon. I'm Jeff. This is WebVee Guide Conversation. This afternoon, we're here with Rob Barnett, the founder and CEO of MyDamnChannel. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's nice to meet you. And congratulations. Sixth anniversary coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's, I don't know what it is in dog years, but it's a lot of years in web years.
It's a lifetime in web years. It doesn't seem that long, but it's absolutely a lifetime in your industry. And all the changes that you've gone through. Well, congratulations on all the success that you've had for the last 6 years.
Thanks so much.
We wish you many more. Describe MyDamnChannel for me.
Well, MyDamnChannel is a collection of people who are interested in diving into the world's most fun swimming pool, the world where everything is new. I mean, this is a collection of people that have spent a long, long time in film and television and comedy, and it's a collection of some of the hottest new talent that's come up in the native land of digital. But we have, from minute one, been focused on creating the best original series online in comedy. There are other great players out there in comedy, but we've always been dedicated to the idea that we should do series, whether they were every day or once a week and running in a season like it does on television.
Now, you got your start in radio?
I started as a radio guy, yeah.
What drew you to radio?
Well, my father was a couple of things. I guess the easiest way to kind of understand the man that I grew up with was he was a madman. My dad was an ad agency guy and knew a lot of radio people. I was around a lot of radio people and comedy people as a little kid. He was a member of the Friars Club. I used to go there as a little kid and have breakfast with Milton Berle and stuff like that.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, so I had a lot of this. I had a lot of this in my DNA, and just was always.
Jacket?
What's that?
Did you have to wear the Friars Club jacket when you went? Did your father have one of those?
I was a little fat kid. They probably didn't make me wear that. I don't remember that.
Now, you got your start professionally then in radio as a DJ and as a programmer?
Yeah, I was a disc jockey and program director in rock radio for about 10 years, and then I moved into the television business and had about 12 years at MTV and VH1 as a guy running productions there and ultimately running the programming. So minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, I was scheduling those networks and putting together what you would see and when you would see it.
What productions did you run while you were at MTV and VH1?
Oh God, I made hundreds of shows there over a long, long period of time. I guess some of the highlights that stand out for me is I got to work with Oprah Winfrey at one point and did a 3-hour special with Oprah and Quincy Jones. Maybe one of the most life-changing experiences was a show that I co-created with a buddy of mine named George Gimmark and John Lydon. We did something with the Johnny Rotten entity, and we called it Rotten TV. That was insanely fun, and just hundreds and hundreds of projects. I worked on the MTV rockumentaries, which were really the precursor to a lot of the best music documentaries that we did at MTV back in the early 90s. So I just had an incredible learning experience there, working with some of the smartest people in music and television.
John Lydon's not an idiot, is he?
John Lydon is one of the smartest people you can ever meet. Yeah.
In the interviews I've heard with him, he's fascinating. What was it like to work with him?
We could talk about that for hours. Yeah. I mean, it was maddening. In all the best and worst and craziest ways. He's brilliant. He's a genius.
Now, when you left MTV and VH1, did you go back into radio for a while?
Yeah, I did a bunch of entrepreneurial things, real interesting, crazy left turns and right turns and north and south for a couple of years. I worked with Martin Scorsese and Alex Gibney on an amazing project. I worked on the 2004 presidential campaign, but I did end up back in radio, and depending on how you look at it, I was the president of CBS radio programming, or the unlucky bastard that had to figure out how to replace Howard Stern. That was my cross to bear.
So from radio, let's talk about My Damn Channel. Where did the idea come from? How did you come up with this?
Well, it came from working with people like Leslie Moonves at CBS, and sitting in all these meetings and looking at all these big famous executives starting to talk about strange words like digital and new media, and business cards started to change and people started to call themselves new things. But I had this notion that some of the biggest and most powerful companies in the television world were possibly not the best innovators and incubators in the online world. I thought that that was going to be something that perhaps needed to draw on some of those punk inspirations that changed the music business, and I thought that if, let's call it, the television idea was going to change from the world of digital, it would have to happen from rebel bases like MyDamnChannel and not from monolithic corporations like Viacom.
So how did you implement that idea? What did you do?
Well, let's see. I lost my job and had to hurry up and figure out what I was going to do next.
Here's an incredible inspiration, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a kick in the pants, So no, I went out and found the smartest business person I could. I've always, forced to call myself something. I would call myself more creative than I would that other side of the brain. So I realized I wasn't going to be able to start a business without the best business person, and I went on, job one for me was to go find that partner, that person that could really run the money and the math and all those other things I know nothing about, like technology and venture capital and all the rest. And I found a man named Warren Chow who started the company with me back in 2007. So that was the first step. The second step was we're going to need to go get some of the best talent in the world to be able to get ourselves at least onto the playing field and show the audience what we were capable of doing.
Now, what was the strategy that you decided to use to distribute content or to find content and then distribute it and gain viewers for that content?
Well, we looked at YouTube, and we certainly looked at Google's purchase of YouTube as kind of a game changer in the world that we wanted to get into. And we thought a lot about the best model and the best approach. We figured that YouTube would likely be the winner of the size game. Hey, everybody, upload your videos here. So we didn't want to compete with that. We believe in the power of small d democracy, but we didn't think we'd necessarily out YouTube. And there were a lot of other companies who tried to, and many of them are bye-bye in the car. So, and some of those companies raised tens of millions of dollars to try and be the other YouTube. So we just counted the model of everybody upload your video, and then that second model that we looked at became a company like Hulu, the repurposing of traditional media online. That's a good idea, but we weren't sitting on huge libraries to be able to do that. There's a ghost entering your room. It's very cool. There's definitely, it's either an animal or a ghost.
One of our cats. I'm doing this for my.
All right, it was an animal, not a ghost. That was very, very David Lynch right there. Very David Lynch.
Well, thank you.
So we went to this third model, and the thing that inspired us to start the company was that we believed that at some point, and maybe you and I are a little bit closer to it in 2013 than we were in 2007, but we believed that at some point what you and I are doing right now would be a form of baby cable. And like in the early 1980s, when brand new entities came onto the playing field, whether it was CNN or MTV or Nickelodeon or Comedy Central or the Food Network. We thought the best thing to do was to play what my friend Adam Carolla called the long money game. Not the short money game, but the long money game, which starts first with trying to build a brand that could, over time, stand for something as meaningful in people's minds as, God willing, an HBO or a Comedy Central or an MTV. So we focused first on making sure that we had a consistent voice, and then like an HBO or a Showtime, we knew that we would have to go find the best talent that we possibly could, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, and build our foundation on their backs. Because if we got the best talent, then that would lead to the best content. That would bring their fans from other parts of their show business careers onto their new work. And then by building a large enough audience, we do that really crazy final piece of the puzzle called make money.